Okay. Alright, so I'm continuing this adventure.
アイズ・オブよしここはストーリーモードじゃ上がった
So the last time I completed JoJo was you got the intro for Dio. Jotaro beat Dio. Then Jotaro got introduced to Dead Kakuin and Dead Abdul and Dead Iggy. Because for some reason they came back to life. Um, Assuming that the noble one is the one doing this. Um, at least that's what the game is saying. And now it is believed that the noble one is actually Dio, which made sense from the very beginning when I started to play the game because there's only one person based on the first part that made sense to be able to come back. If Abdul, if Kakuin, if Iggy were able to come back, then why wouldn't Dio come back? However, here's the thing. This is why the game is trying to say why he can't come back. Um, he's a vampire, and vampires once they die, the exposure to sunlight, um, they vanish, they vaporize. They're not like regular people. They die from the injuries getting blown up or stabbed or shot or anything like that. Um, Once they get vaporized, it's they're completely dead. Because, for instance, vampires technically are described in ancient history lore as well, not really ancient history, but if you want to consider ancient history, basically medieval slash ancient history lore, that they don't have souls anymore. So when someone becomes a vampire, they're soulless beings, beings without souls, and all the tropes with regards to vampires are present in this game, with the exception of one that he can't see himself in the mirror or something like that. But I've never actually seen Dio look in the mirror or before. I think he did once he was a vampire. So I believe the whole mirror trope is it doesn't follow the whole vampire lore to what is a vampire to completion. So it's half and half in this game when it comes to Dio. So, but he is a vampire, so he dies in sunlight with regards to the lore of what a vampire is. So they couldn't. I guess the group Jotaro and the rest of the people that he got joined up are trying to figure out how Dio can be able to come back to life, even though he got vaporized. Since vaporized is not the same as getting blown up or um, shot, stab, or run over or anything like that. He got dusted. He turned into dust, and then dust blew it like into the wind. So it's not like he has a body to come back to because he's been vaporized. I guess if you got blown up into parts, someone could put your parts back together like Frankenstein. Um, or same as getting run over, stuff of your body could be reanimated and brought back to life by science. But if you're vaporized, you're completely atomized, and there's nothing for your body to, or your soul, or your spirit, or your power to attach to because there's no physical form anymore. And that was the thing that made everyone within the game believe it wasn't Dio until um, the second part of the story. Um, Vanilla Ice showed up, and then later in the game, Enya Barn showed up as well as Undul, um, Enya Ba, son, and I believe another loyalist to Dio had showed up. But I think that it's the three. It's Cool Ice or Vanilla Ice. Um, the Japanese version says Vanilla Ice, but the comic says Cool Ice. I don't never understand that. Vanilla Ice sound better because I guess it's something related to American hip hop, but the comic books had said Cool Ice. I guess because Cool Ice is considered not associated with the brand of the rapper called Vanilla Ice, so they couldn't use Vanilla Ice in word form. Um, I mean, in comic book form, literally from the comic books when he was making it, because copyright stuff. But it could say it in verbally because I don't know why they could get away with saying it verbally. But yeah, that Vanilla Ice, Enyaba, um, and Ndul, they all showed up. And the only person they're loyal to, at least anyway, Enyaba is loyal to, and Vanilla Ice is loyal to, is Dio. Now, in all truth, I believe Enyaba would never be completely loyal to Dio if she knew Dio was trying to kill him. She will eventually turn on Dio if she knew Dio was trying to kill her. However, um, Vanilla Ice is a different story. Vanilla Ice is a complete sadistic loyalist to a default. Not to a default, but to a T, to be honest with you. Um, it doesn't matter if Dio tries to kill him, he will still follow Dio. It doesn't matter if Dio like blows him up, and then it's cool by Vanilla Ice standard because he's basically see Dio as a god, and a man shouldn't question what a god does. That's basically Vanilla Ice in a nutshell. Um, and you could say the same for Poochie, but I'm continuing on with the story, and that was the last thing that I experienced in the story was Inyaba showing up here, and I had to fight a couple of enemies loyal to Enyaba, her little dead undead enemies. And now I'm here. I'm continuing on the story. So I'm gonna talk to Joseph,
なんじゃ
and then I'll be silent for a while. What I'm truly trying to get down more than anything is the combat system moves. How to I've read up about it. I read up how to execute it and the defenses and everything, but it's still a little bit complicated. I mean, in this game, nothing is really complicated. It's quite easy. But
ここはオプションモードだ。すごく。ここはオプションモードだ。オプションモードはすごく。
alright, I'm gonna check out the battle system again.
重要なのは設定に対する君
Battle
の
function settings.
リモール
重
I
要
need
なのは設定に
tutorials.
対する君の好みだ。
Okay, so what I'm having issue with is not the controllers, as it's saying here, circle X to do the abilities based on the buttons, but to get off the charge forward, the dual heat builds up, and to get off the dual heat, it says to hold down on to cancel is to hold down on L2 and R2. I could do that, but once I engage the dual heat mode for dual heat, apparently there are two dual heats. There's let me get to that because I believe that's the real issue that's going on. Special modes, special abilities, tag battles, the dual combos. So I guess when you press the center button, you see I'm looking at the side. It's showing. It says here the moves you can use will change depending on your dual heat gauge memory limit. And then it'll show it slowly grow over time. The gauge will slowly grow over time. When you or your partner connect with an attack or take damage, your dual heat gauge will charge up. Okay. When the gauge gets full, you will earn a charge that allows you. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. Allows you to perform a dual heat combo or dual heat attack. Okay, so this is what I want to know, when to do each of the individual ones, because sometimes I might just want to do the dual heat combo, sometimes I just want to do the dual heat attack. I need to know when I'm supposed to see. It says here pressing L1 and R1 for the dual heat attack. When you gain DHA charges, okay, press L1 and R1 to charge into an enemy with your character. If connect, you and your partner will unleash a DHA, your most powerful attack, and deal serious damage to the enemy. Okay, so I don't have to worry about the center D-pad at all, because for some reason I keep pressing the center D-pad assuming that I have to initiate the DHA first once the bar fill up, and then press the L1 and R1. So maybe I looked at something different that shows I'm supposed to press the center D-pad, but I don't have to press the center D-pad at all. It's just L1 and R1. I know about this. Once they go down and get back up, they become significantly more powerful. On battle results screen, you'll be ranked based on your performance. Okay, so I know about that. Battle details screen, retry menu, capture harvest, mob battles. Okay, so those are new. Capture harvest and mob battles are new. Battle details screen. On battle details screen, mission of battles, victory conditions. So maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe the tutorials was quite simple, a little bit more simple than I thought, or maybe it is. Maybe see, I just came to. Story stage part 1. Story mode menu, level up in ability tree, trust, story so far, exploration, change stages, acquiring stickers, add-ons. Okay, so L1, R1, left, right. So I know all about those. And this is the battle system. Go over it again. This is your controller. Square does the normal attacks. Triangle, press triangle, mid combo to execute a combo finisher. So if I keep repeatedly pressing square and mid combo I press while he's doing his I just press the triangle mid combo of that ability, or anyone's ability, to be honest with you. Press triangle mid combo to execute combo finisher. Combos differ by obviously. Powerful attacks, knockdown, knockbacks, takedowns, strong mid-air attacks. Okay, so it says here, tap triangle quickly to perform a knockdown. So if I press square and I do and then I press triangle mid combo to execute a finisher, if I rapidly press the triangle instead of just pressing the triangle to do the finisher quickly enough, tap triangle quickly to perform a knockback, or hold it down to perform an unblockable takedown. So maybe that's what it meant by finisher. By mid combo, it says press triangle mid combo to execute a combo finisher. And that combo finisher probably is what it just stated in the number 2 right here, powerful attacks, which is if I press it quickly to do the combo finisher, I get a knockdown, or if I hold it, press triangle mid combo, or if I hold it to perform, if I hold it down, it'll perform an unblockable takedown. So I could get a knockback or a knockdown, depending on the enemy type I want to fight. So maybe some enemies I don't want to knock on their ass because they'll just get stronger. Maybe I just want to knock them back rather than knock them down. So I'm assuming knockdowns make them much tougher, which is probably the most obvious one. They'll get more tougher if they get knocked down, they're knocked to the ground. Rather than if I give them a knockback, their strength will slowly build up over time rather than them just being strong. Now it says mid-air performs a strong mid-air attack. Okay, so I could do mid-air attacks as well. In mid-air, this button performs a strong mid-air attack. Okay, so while I'm doing ololololo with the square, if I jump into the air, it will do a strong mid-air attack. Or does it work that way? Press triangle mid-combo to execute a combo finisher. So maybe these the second ones where it says powerful attacks have nothing to do with pressing triangle when you're doing a combo attack. Maybe these are just standards that happen regardless. Such as if I press triangle, he's going to do a knockback regardless. Whether I do combos, and if I hold down on triangle, he's going to do a knockdown regardless. And if I jump in the air, he's going to do a mid-air strong attack regardless. Okay, so that's probably what it is. I got to think about that when I'm fighting an enemy, because if I charge into an enemy, I might decide to charge into the enemy and not do an ololololo. I might charge into the enemy and quickly do a triangle for a combo finisher. I mean, not a combo finisher, for a knockback or a knockdown. But if I do hold it down as soon as I charge into the enemy, they're going to get strong as soon as they hit the ground. So I might want to do a knockback. But if I knock them back, will they get stunned a little? In order for me to charge them again to do the I think that's the best choice. Press the L2 to charge into the enemy, and then press the triangle to do the knockback. Because I'm not sure you could charge forward and then jump in the air and do the mid-air combo. And I'm not sure if you could charge into the enemy using the L2 and then hold and do the knockdown, and the enemy is not going to do anything but wait for you to do the knockdown by holding the triangle. So the fastest one seemed to be L2, charge towards the enemy, and quickly press the triangle button to do the knockback. Because all I've been doing since I've been playing the game is charging to the enemy, do the willa 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 willa, and then do a triangle. But I'm going to try a different strategy this time. So this is helpful. X is to character jump, yeah. Sidestep, yeah. Holding L1 will display the skills board, which I saw. Press one of the buttons displayed on the skills board to activate the corresponding skill. And I did that when I did the world. But it only lasts for about 5 seconds, so it's very finicky to do the world, because as soon as he does the world, you only have like 3 seconds, maybe even less. Yeah, about 3 seconds before you have to attack the enemy again. So it's best not to do the world when you're far from an enemy. I think I'm going to do the world exactly when I'm directly in front of them. That way I could catch them. Style attacks perform an attack unique to each character. So I hold this down, hold down L1, and I press the button that it says to do the special attack. Style attacks perform an attack unique to each character. So if I just press R1, no matter how many times, just pressing R1, they'll do their unique attack regardless. Not pressing any button, not run or anything. They'll do the unique attack regardless. Alright, so Seems like I have several type of attack buttons. I have the R1 attack button, I have the triangle attack button, and I have the square attack button. Alright, and homing dash, that's the one I was talking about. Dash forward. Guarding is R2, that's understandable. Flash burst. I know how to do flash cancel, press the two back buttons, the L2 and the R2. But flash burst, press L2 for a momentary surge of invincibility that knocks back nearby enemies. You can also use this while jumping or getting hit. But wait a minute. If you press L2 and R2 for a momentary surge. Okay, so I basically can't move when I'm pressing L2 and R2 to get the surge. I cannot move. I have to stay in place to do the surge power up. I guess I could hold down on it, but I cannot move to get the surge power because if I move, it would go straight into a flash cancel, which is L2 plus R2 while attacking to cancel an attack. Okay, while attacking. So even if I'm running forward or I'm doing sidestepping, if I'm running forward or doing sidestepping, I could still be doing the flash burst. Or if I'm jumping, I could still be doing the flash burst. I just cannot be attacking, which means I just can't press square and I can't press R1. But I could do it as many times as I want, as long as I'm not attacking when I'm doing it. So this is like a Goku thing when he's doing his aura power up. The increases aura power is L2 and R2 for momentary surge of invincibility that knocks back nearby enemies. So I should only use this when I'm near an enemy and I don't have on the world and I'm about to die, but the enemy is close to killing me. So I should use this when I'm close to an enemy and don't hit them whatsoever at all. Just press both buttons to knock them back and to give me enough power so I could do my attack. So I like that. All right, so at least I understand that you cannot press L2 and R2 while you're attacking. Otherwise, it will just cancel out any of your attacks. But you can use it at all times when you're running. I'm not sure when you're sidestepping, but I'm assuming it says here step cancellation. So if I press circle during a combo, it's going to cancel out. So if I'm pressing if I'm pressing with a square, I could cancel it out real quick with the circle. But I wonder if I'm doing the L2 and the R2 power up, the Goku power up body increasing aura, and I accidentally press the circle, would I cancel it out? Well, it doesn't say that, but I'm just gonna have to test it. So, but somebody's at my door. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta check something. Okay. Alright, so typically I didn't want to speak in this video anyway, but I'm doing it regardless. Because I prefer to do it that way anyway. So I'm continuing on the story. Um, so where was I? There was no one at my door. Just a bunch of noise from someone's uh, dishwasher or something that was going on next door. So flash cancel and step cancel and pause menu. Press the options button to open the pause menu where you can view characters moves list. All right, so that's that. And wait. Did I jump the gun just now? Guarding. Yeah, I didn't jump the gun. All right. Did I jump the gun on this? No.
ここはオプションモード。いつでも来てくれ。待ってるよ。
All right, so now I understand more as I'm reading. See, most times when people play games like these, they don't want to read anything because they prefer that the education is done in the game rather than you have to read how to do something. As he's running along, it should be like an indication in the game based on interactive menu and words based on its environment to show you how to do something rather than you reading it from text. But now that I know how to do it. I know I could jump and do a physical attack. I could do this. I could do a mid attack. Or I could do a heavy attack. So if I run forward, well, you can't run when he's not in mission, but that's his special attack. And apparently, square is his regular punching attack. But it's bizarre to me because if square is his normal attack, which is this, he shouldn't be doing that. He should be doing this. Because when I'm fighting enemies and I'm rapidly pressing square, he's not doing that. He's doing this. So when you're rapidly pressing square, you're no longer doing the regular attack, normal attack. You're actually doing the special. So this is this. So how it goes is if I press L2 and R2 at the same time, he does a Goku power up move. Like say for instance, this is the power up. I say this little light here is his power up by pressing L2 and R2 at the same time. If I move forward, I could still do it. If I'm holding down, he'll probably stand in place and do it. But it won't cancel out until I press the physical attack button. Whether mid-air or on ground. So there are 3 attack buttons, if I'm not mistaken. It says so. There's press the L1, and then you do press any button that does the special attack. So it doesn't work here. But if I press L1 in mission, a certain amount of button sets will pop up. It could be square, it could be X, could be circle, and then by holding on the L1 and pressing that button, you do an attack. And then there's the normal attack, which is this, and then there's the special attack, which is this. So the special, I guess, heat gauge attack, the DHA, only happens when you it's strange. This game is strange because okay, so there's normal attack, then there's special attack, then there's time stopping attack or special moves attack where you press L1 and then you press another button to do that special move or special attack, And then there's the heat gauge attack. So there's one, there's two, there's the L1 on another button, and then there's the L2 and R2 to charge into an enemy moving forward, and then the game will automatically do the attack on its own. So there are three attacks that you have to do by yourself, and one attack, and the last attack, the fourth attack, you just hold down R2 and L2, and as long as you're standing in front of the enemy, it will charge towards the enemy and do the attack itself for you. So there are four attack moves, or three attack moves and one special move. Well, how do I explain? This is the normal attack. This is the special attack. Then there's the I guess you could say the special attack. What did it call it? It called it something.
オプションモード設定をするときというのは楽しんでやらなくすごく
I think this game is not good at explaining things. So you hold down R1 to bring up your skills board. I mean L1 to bring up your skills board. And press one of the buttons displayed on the skills board to activate its corresponding skills. Okay, so it's not an attack, it's a skill. So when I do the world and I freeze time, freezing time isn't an attack. It's a special move that they could do, but it's not an attack. So that means that goes for Kakuin, that goes for Polnareff, that goes for Giorno, that goes for Josuke. Hold down L1 and press another button to do a skill maneuver, not an attack. And the skill maneuver does a time stop. It does something that is not an attack. Basically, that's what it's saying. It does a type of ability that's a non-combat ability attack. Just like the world, freezing time is non-combat. It's just a skill that they're able to do, but it's non-combative. So, non-CQC.
ここはオプションモードだ君
Alright.
のコントローラーを握る手つきがすごくいい
Alright, so I will only need to do something like that skill. I guess in order to buy myself time, because in Jotaro's case, if I freeze time, that gives me the opportunity to get off attack on the enemy before time stops. Or I guess if I use Giorno, that gives me the opportunity to heal up, well, not heal, but to create something. And in Josuke's situation, if I press L1 and whatever the button is, his skill, which is not an attack skill, will be to heal